Shalom Bayit is the main way we fulfill our true purpose. So Rabbi Shalom Arush tells a beautiful parable in his book, The Garden of Peace for Men. It's called The Exalted Sage and the Pillar of Compassion. So this gentleman was a major Torah scholar. He reached a very, very lofty spiritual level. He never failed to set aside time for outreach. Everybody respected and admired him except for his wife. He would come home late, she would be complaining, bitter, about to explode. He spent very little time at home so he could ignore this part of his life. So this exalted sage regarded his wife's complaints as a result of her faulty character and her weak observance of Torah. So of course he has this expectation that everybody in the neighborhood respects him and admires him and puts him on this pedestal. So he comes home, expects his wife to do the same thing. All she did was constantly hinder him with petty demands. So rather than fight with his wife, he would stay away. Even on Shabbat and holidays, he would pre-plan certain obligations. So rather than rotting at home, he preferred to donate his time to charitable deeds and Torah learning. So on the final day of his life, thousands and thousands of people escorted him to his eternal place of rest. So when he left the threshold of the physical world, a whole host of accusing angels came and grabbed him and yanked him into the heavenly court. So the trial begins. He's standing before the heavenly court. They started looking at all of his mitzvot, and they get to a highlighted section that says marriage. Then they projected a widescreen documentary showing his wife sitting at an empty Shabbat table, no one to thank her for the fresh chalot that she made. The film just showed her starving soul. Never a thank you, never a gift, never a nice word. So the Chief Justice ignored all of the fancy titles that he had in the physical world. And he said, you learned a lot of Torah, you performed a lot of charitable deeds, but you failed to complete your assignment and attain your tikkun. You were only concerned about yourself, your own prestige, and your own success. All of your learning went over to the dark side. You failed to realize that charity begins at home. If there's no charity at home, then all charity done outside is lacking. You should have directed all of your compassion first to your wife, for she was literally your own flesh. You gave to strangers while ignoring her. You had patience to listen to strangers' problems for hours, but never gave your wife 2 minutes a day to listen to her. With all your book learning, you failed to realize that life's principal test is to live in peace and harmony with your wife. Had you invested in your Shalom Bayit, you would have discovered how far you really were from the Torah and its values. The Torah is geared to bring a person to Emunah. So your lack of Emunah shows that you never even really learned Torah. When your wife was begging you to spend some time at home, Hashem was begging you to spend some time at home. Hashem was speaking by way of her vocal cords. By ignoring your wife, you and your blind arrogance were repeatedly ignoring Hashem. Our purpose on earth is to get to know Hashem. But there's no chance in getting to know Hashem without successfully passing the test called Shalom Bayit. Shalom Bayit is the main way we fulfill our true purpose.